Hello, this is Michael Fritz, student at Liberty University. Today I'm going to be discussing ethics and instructional design with a biblical worldview. I'll be going over a few things in ethics, most notably the AECT Code of Ethics, which is generally an outline of the ethical standards that instructional designers and educators go by. I'm going to go over a few different examples of ethics in instructional design. I'm also going to talk about how to overcome ethical dilemmas in instructional design through a biblical worldview. And lastly, I'll finish this up and show some of my references. So, authors Reiser and Dempsey discuss the AECT Code of Ethics. So AECT is the Association for Educational Communications and Technologies. And they break it down in three different categories. The Code of Ethics. You have technology and resources, diversity, and personal rights. Essentially, instructional designers are kind of like IT professionals. And with that, we have this ability to address and relate to decisions regarding the selection, implementation, and evaluation of the things, the content that we utilize with the technology that we're utilizing for educational resources. And so obviously with that power becomes a bit of responsibility. While utilizing this technology, the ethical issues that instructional settings have are to create a safe environment for our students to learn in. The second part is diversity. We live in a very diverse world today. Technology and cultural influences are changing rapidly, and diversity goes far beyond the profession, all the way out through the whole entire global community. And the concept of diversity extends how we learn and how we design and create the instructions that we use. And Reiser and Dempsey illustrate an example of this concept is the obligation to create a learning situation that allows for open discussion of various ideas that may differ from those held by the instructor. And again, going back to the power that we have as instructors, as instructional designers, we need to be able to take away our biases from what we are trying to accomplish as curriculum facilitators. Personal rights is their last category, and what Reiser and Dempsey describe as personal rights is indicators within to look at various aspects that can be termed personal rights. Essentially, personal rights is terms of understanding the individual within the field, as well as the professional rights of other colleagues and those of our clients. Our clients being the students, our colleagues being all the other professors, instructors, and even instructional designers that we work with. So now that we have a little bit of better understanding of what the AECT Code of Ethics is, we'll go over some examples of ethics in instructional design. So a few authors have put together research that are specifically addressing how we understand ethics in instructional design. And the first one is a research done by authors Barak and Green, who through the responsible conduct research in the National Institutes of Health deem this an issue because of the fast technology advances, which led to a high uptake and increase in online courses. And those online courses completely shifted away from in-class courses. Now, this is important because they detail case-based learning in their approach to understanding ethical scenarios. So basically they describe as case-based learning involving student-centered exploration of short stories. So they're short stories about ethical dilemmas and how to process the data and how to process the scenarios can help the students interpret and even do some more research on their own to be able to figure out whether or not something is being an ethical dilemma. Now, they go on to say that studies have shown that ethics in instructional design and best practices are constructed through applications in this same case-based activity in face-to-face environments such as seminars and workshops. So when presented ethical dilemmas, our students are then learning the best approaches to their classes and to their ability to face ethical dilemmas in our instructional design. And lastly, another dilemma is that the the world is becoming more progressive, which leads to a human artifact, as authors Yamagata, Lynch et al. Describe in their works. So these design places, these instructional design places, we have to become more aware of the power they possess to influence the human behavior. Essentially, our online environments are becoming the real world environments. Therefore, how we construct them, what we put into the scenarios, really is driving the mindset of humans in the 21st century. So, how to overcome ethical dilemmas through the biblical worldview. Now, as an instructor, we used to teach this in our ethics section of our leadership development of the golden rule. So in Matthew 7:12, it talks about the golden rule. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. Basically, do to others as you would also do to you. For this, the law and the prophets. So although this is good, we also created our own and call it the platinum rule. Don't do to others as you wouldn't, as they don't want you to do to them. Essentially, getting to learn your people so that way you always approach them from their own unique perspective, which is very difficult in an online environment. But through the works of Demetrios and Stavros, they talk about utilizing learning analytics, which addresses the moral, legal, and social issues to aid the institution's responsibilities for installing these frameworks of instructional design to face ethical dilemmas in the 21st century. Now, basically, all of this overarching work, as Reiser and Dempsey describe it, is to achieve ethical competence. And essentially, that's what we want to do as instructional designers. We want ethical competence to be able to utilize that for our designs systems for students, and also for them to also understand ethics that are going on around the world and why we present information in a certain way to them in this digital online classroom. And with that, they can then reflect on how we came to a decision and then transform and have a reflection process in the medium. So after that, this is the references that I chose today. This issue is very important to me personally. Having a strong ethical character and background is something that I've always strived to have, especially being a service veteran and an instructor. Without your core values and without your ethical background, you essentially become nobody. So I would like to think of myself as somebody, which is ethical standards as we see them. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.